What if I told you that every single day you delay taking care of your health, you're not just risking your future, but you're actively losing opportunities right now? What if that extra weight you're carrying isn't just affecting how you look in the mirror, but how people at work perceive you? And if you have children, how they see you, and whether you'll even be around to watch them grow up. In this video, I'm going to show you why losing weight and building a healthy, strong body goes beyond vanity or fitting into smaller clothes. It's about survival, opportunity, and becoming the person that you know that you're capable of being. I'm not going to sugarcoat this with false hope or quick fixes. What I'm going to share with you are the hard truths about building excess body fat, and more importantly, the actual strategy that'll help you build muscle while losing that fat, so you don't just become a smaller version of yourself, but you become healthier and stronger along the way. And right now, you're most likely being held back by three things: believing you have time to fix this later, thinking weight loss alone is the answer, and not understanding that your health affects literally every area of your life, from your career to your relationships to even how long you'll live. Speaking of transformation, before we dive in, if you want a body that's not just lighter on the scale, but feels muscular, performs strongly, and gives you the confidence to attack every single day, knowing you can be the best version of yourself possible, then you need to understand that this transformation takes time. That's why I'm giving away my free body recomposition master guide that gives you a step-by-step analysis that goes beyond this video on how to attack losing fat while building muscle at the same time. Because let's be real, what's the point of losing weight if you just end up tired, weak, and unhealthy? Grab your free copy with the link below. Here's what most people tend to ignore in today's day and age. Losing weight isn't just a cosmetic issue. It's a life-threatening condition that's stealing years from your future and opportunities from your present. Let me guess, you're probably telling yourself you'll start next month, maybe after the holidays, or even when things calm down at work. You convince yourself that you aren't as bad compared to other people, or you're too young for it to start mattering yet. Here's the brutal truth. Every single day that you carry excess body fat, you're doing damage that compounds over time. Your heart is working way harder than it should with every single beat. Your joints are wearing down faster under that excess load. Your insulin sensitivity continues to decrease, setting you up for type 2 diabetes. Your testosterone levels are dropping because the excess fat tissue converts that test into estrogen. Your energy levels are lower, your sleep quality is worse, and your risk of cancer, heart disease, and stroke are climbing higher and higher. But beyond the health risks, here's what nobody's talking about: the social and professional consequences of being overweight. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When was the last time you saw an overweight CEO on the cover of Forbes? When was the last time you saw an out-of-shape person leading a major company or commanding respect at a high-stakes meeting? The hard truth is that people make judgments about your discipline, your work ethic, and capabilities based on how healthy you look. If you can't control your body, it shows that your health could become compromised at any moment. People subconsciously question whether you can control a business, a project, or a team. I've seen this play out countless times. There's always the guy that gets passed over for a promotion even though he's more than qualified. There's the entrepreneur who struggles to get investors to take him seriously. Even the dad whose kids prefer to play sports with their friend's fit father rather than their own. If you're a parent, think about your kids for a second. What are you teaching them or would want to teach them right now? That it's okay to neglect your health? That taking care of yourself isn't a priority? Kids don't just listen to what you say, they watch what you do. Every time you choose the couch over the gym, fast food over cooking, you're programming their future habits. Or maybe you don't have kids yet and want them someday. How are you going to keep up with a toddler when you're out of breath climbing stairs? How are you going to teach them to ride a bike, play catch, or go for hikes when you're too tired to do anything after your 8-hour shift? And what about your career? Maybe you've thought about starting your own business, but you're too afraid to put yourself out there because you don't want to be the face of your own company. You don't want to make videos or network at events because deep down you're embarrassed about how you look. That hesitation is costing you opportunities right now. The confidence from having a strong, healthy body bleeds into every other aspect of your life. When you know you look good, you're energetic and capable, and you speak up when it matters the most. You negotiate harder. You take risks. You become the person that gets things done rather than the person that just sits on the sidelines and watches everyone else succeed. But let's get back to the most important part that makes all of this possible: your health and your longevity. Carrying excess body fat isn't just uncomfortable, it's one of the leading preventative causes of death. Heart disease, which is often the #1 killer in a lot of countries, is directly linked to being overweight. And then there's type 2 diabetes, which could lead to blindness, amputation, or even kidney failure, can be completely prevented with proper weight management. And on top of the cancer risks and joint problems we talked about earlier, you also run the risk of sleep apnea. This ailment will rob you of quality rest and will increase the likelihood of you having a heart attack or stroke. Your mental health will suffer as obesity is directly linked to higher counts of anxiety and depression. If you're overweight in your 20s and 30s, you're not just setting yourself up for issues when you're 70 and 80. You're also setting yourself up for issues in your 40s and 50s. Heart attacks, strokes, and being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes are happening earlier and earlier in modern society. You might not have kids watching you now, but what about 10 or 20 years? This isn't all fear-mongering, by the way. This is just reality. But the good news is you could start to change this as early as today. And the answer doesn't involve a financial burden or completely rewriting your life and alienating everyone around you. It just involves looking inward and doing what's necessary to get the work done. So enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about how we could start changing this for you today. There are 3 things that you must do to transform your health and body composition. These aren't optional. These aren't suggestions. These are requirements. First off, cardio on its own won't save you. Eating less on its own won't save you. The main aspect that will fundamentally transform your body composition is weightlifting. And it's not just weightlifting on its own, it's weightlifting with the intent of increasing your muscle mass. You don't have to be a bodybuilder at all, but muscle changes everything. It increases your metabolic rate so you burn calories at rest, making maintaining a lean body way easier to do in the long term. It also improves insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. It strengthens bones and connective tissue. It improves your posture and reduces pain. And most importantly, it completely changes how you look and feel. It can even undo all of the negative ailments that you've been experiencing while being overweight. But you're not going to do this by running on a treadmill or doing body weight exercises in your living room. You need a real program that focuses on progressive overload. And the way to do this is really simple. You just need 2 or 3 full body sessions a week. That's it. Doesn't need to be 6 days a week. Doesn't need to be every single day. Just 2 or 3 quality sessions where you can train hard and do more than last time. That way, it's sustainable long term, not just for a few months. Each session should be built around these fundamental compound movements like squats, deadlifts, chest presses, pull downs, and rows. These movements engage multiple muscle groups at once, create the most amount of metabolic stress, and yield the best results per unit of time invested. This means 30 to 45 minutes of training purely compound movements is going to yield better results than just an hour of isolation exercises. Your only job is to get progressively stronger on these movements, whether that's adding 1 rep, going up in 5 pounds, or slowing down the negative on a movement. You only need 1 small change per entire workout to successfully achieve progressive overload. Your body will have no choice but to adapt by building more muscle and increasing your strength. This is the foundation. Everything else around it is secondary. If you only get one thing from this video, make it this. Start lifting weights consistently and focus on progressively getting stronger over time. So we've addressed the foundation, but we still need to get to the diet aspect of things. How do you structure your diet plan to where you're not suffering the entire time during this transformation? Because it's going to be difficult. Well, while difficult, it doesn't have to be impossible, but you need to fundamentally change your relationship with food. And that starts with eating in a moderate calorie deficit while prioritizing protein. Notice I didn't say eat like you're starving or cut out everything you enjoy. A moderate calorie deficit of 500 below maintenance is all that you need. This means eat 500 calories less than what your body needs to maintain its current weight. This is enough to lose 1 pound a week. And if you're following the training protocol that I addressed earlier, then you'll be sure to lose 1 pound of fat rather than a mix of fat and muscle. But here's the critical part. What you eat matters just as much as the quantity of foods you're eating. I would recommend basing your diet around whole foods because of this. The foundation should be lean protein like chicken, beef, turkey, eggs, and dairy products like low-fat yogurt. For your micronutrients like fiber, I recommend a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. Whole grains are also great for energy while keeping micronutrient intake high. And to maintain hormonal health, eat healthy fats like avocados, olive oil, peanut butter, and dark chocolate. These foods are not just nutrient dense, but will keep you full for a long period of time and support your muscle growth and recovery. They don't spike your blood sugar and make you crash a couple hours later, also leaving you hungry and craving unhealthy food. They provide sustained energy throughout the entire day. On top of programming in whole foods, it's also just as helpful to cut back on sugar and ultra-processed foods. I'm not saying you can never have them anymore, but they can't be the foundation of your diet going forward. They don't fill you up, they trigger cravings, and they make it impossible to maintain a low-calorie, high-protein diet. Foods that are higher in calories require you to eat way less in order to hit your calorie goal, and you'll be miserable as a result. So this is where having whole, unprocessed lean protein sources as the foundation of your plan be essential. I would aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and you can go as high as 1.3 if you're extremely active or having a hard time staying full all day. Protein will help you preserve muscle or even gain muscle during your fat loss phase. On top of keeping you full and supporting recovery in between training, it'll also help you preserve muscle mass or even gain muscle while losing fat. Nobody wants to track their food forever because it isn't as sustainable, but you still need to track for a couple weeks at a time just to know what your portions look like and what your goals look like. And then once you're comfortable with eating the same thing for a few weeks at a time, then you could stop tracking if you know what you're doing is working. Consistency beats variety when you're transforming your body. Just make sure that as time goes on, you're slowly recalculating your maintenance calories and reducing your calories to facilitate your new weight. I've gone ahead and linked my favorite calorie tracker below, which you could use to calculate your maintenance calories. Make sure you set your activity level to sedentary, that way you're not overestimating the calories that you need to eat. And then once you find your maintenance calories, subtract 500 from that number. Hit it every single day you can, prioritize protein, and once you do that, you'll watch your body transform. So training and nutrition are the foundation of your protocol, but is there anything else you can be doing to make the process a little bit easier and healthier? Well, you need to move more every single day, but I'm not talking about hour-long sessions on the treadmill looking like a starving hamster on a wheel. Instead of all that nonsense, just work on aiming for 8,000 steps daily. That's roughly 45 minutes of walking accumulated throughout your entire day. And this isn't a dedicated workout. It's as simple as just parking farther away from the store when you go shopping, walking around your block when you're on the phone, or taking the stairs instead of an elevator. Daily movement keeps your cardiovascular system healthy without spiking your hunger hormones. While on the other hand, intense cardio, while stimulating your cardiovascular system more, has the ability to spike your hunger hormones even more because of the increase in energy that it requires. Walking will help you burn additional calories without requiring recovery. It'll also help you improve your mood, reduce stress, and give you time to think and decompress. If you're someone that comes to enjoy traditional cardio like running or cycling, then I would still definitely recommend doing it. Just know that it's not required if you find it absolutely miserable. Steps plus your weight training with the proper diet is more than enough to facilitate body recomposition. You won't just get leaner, but you'll get healthier during the process, which is the ultimate end result here. The beauty of focusing on steps for your daily movement is it's achievable regardless of your starting point. You can start exactly where you are now and gradually increase as time goes on. You don't need special equipment. You don't even need a gym. You just need to get up and move around wherever you see fit. Once you put all of this together, you'll have the framework for consistent success. But how long does all of this take? Let's set realistic expectations because I'm not going to lie to you. This takes time. You're not going to see dramatic changes in the first month. You'll probably feel way better, sleep better, and have way more energy. But when you're looking at the scale and yourself in the mirror, you might not be happy yet, and that's fine. You should never let that discourage you. It's important to practice delayed gratification in a time like this. You know what you're doing is working. You just need to give it time to see it through. Focus on the changes that you could see in real time, rather than the ones that won't come until longer in the future. Internal changes are happening, even though those external ones aren't visible yet. Your third month in is typically when you'll start to notice those more gradual changes. You'll start seeing more muscle definition. Your clothes will fit a lot better. People might even start commenting on your success. But by month 6, your transformation becomes undeniable. You've lost significant fat. You've built noticeable muscle. You've successfully achieved body recomposition. People who haven't seen you in a while will be absolutely shocked. By month 9 and 12, you'll most likely build or get close to building the body you've been chasing. But anybody can build the body. It's about building the habits and the mindset that allow you to keep those changes going for life. The physical transformation is only secondary to what happens internally. The hierarchy of achievement is to be, do, and then have. If you become that person, you can do the things that allow you to have the things that you want. If you start backwards, you'll never become that person. But once you become that person, your confidence will explode. Your energy will stabilize. Your pain will cease to exist. Your productivity and your mood will elevate. But let's look at your health. Your blood pressure will normalize within months, and your blood sugar will finally be stable again. You can say goodbye to inflammation, and say goodbye to imbalanced hormones. I mean, you're literally adding years to your life by committing to these changes. If anybody can go to the time store and purchase more time, it would be the most valuable currency on earth. So what's so different about doing it in a way that doesn't just take longer, but improves who you are as a person? This all comes down to one simple choice. Are you going to continue to keep living the way you're living now, or is it time to make a change? Because here's the reality. Nothing changes if you don't change. It's not about watching this video. It's about implementation. I would rather you watch 1 minute of this video and then go on to achieve the body of your dreams rather than watch this video over and over and over and over again and do absolutely nothing about it. Because let's be real, most people are going to do that. And the question is, are you one of those people? Are you going to be one of the few that actually take action instead of going back to your old habits tomorrow? And believe me, I want you to be in the minority. In fact, I'd rather the minority be the majority and every single person watching this video takes action, with or without my help. And only you can decide whether today is that day. Not Monday, not after the holidays, and not when things slow down at work. The person you want to become, the health that you want to achieve, the respect that you deserve to have in your day-to-day life is already there. You're already that person. You just need to unlock that potential. Your future self is already thanking you. You wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. Your kids are watching you. Your career is waiting on you. Question is, are you going to show up for all of them? Let's summarize the roadmap so you know exactly where to take action. Start with a foundation of weightlifting with compound movements 2 to 3 days a week, hitting full body each time. Eat a minimally processed, high-volume, low-calorie meal with protein as the primary macro and eat 500 calories below maintenance every single day. And to tie all of that together, make sure you're walking at least 8,000 steps a day and increase as time goes on. It's that simple. You just need these 3 things, and you need the mindset to see all of it through. You need to practice delayed gratification and understand that these things take time, but they're worth every single day of commitment, regardless of whether you can see results or not. And I definitely understand that no 2 plans will ever look the same for anyone. So if you're serious about your body recomposition journey and have no idea where to start and don't want to do it alone, you can book a private one-on-one call with me using the link below. It's just for me to see if I can help you, and if I can, we'll come up with a custom game plan that can be implemented yourself or working one-on-one with me. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start is today. I look forward to helping you achieve the transformation of your dreams.